So many of the impacts of climate change on Africa are in the form of water, increased incidence of a drought, increased incidence of flooding, rainfall variability, reduced rainfall, changes in the growing season, and so on. And many of these have got direct impact on either the livelihoods of marginalized households reliant or almost completely on agriculture, but also impact on infrastructure, roads, bridges, impacts on construction, and so on. And much of the global climate response is geared towards ensuring that there is adequate adaptation to those impacts. The challenge, of course, for most African economies is that the capacity to adapt both at the economy-wide level but also at the household level is limited. A bigger challenge is that going forward, there's a need for African economies to become green, to leapfrog carbon-emitting technologies. And the assumption is that there are technologies that are available which can make that leapfrogging possible. But this has got many levels of a challenge. The most important for African economies is how do we deal with those assets that we are already paying for that are based on carbon fossil fuels, such as coal-powered power stations. The second challenge is how do we deal with other stranded assets, particularly how do we deal with the potential of carbon that is not yet being exploited on the African continent. So there are huge discoveries, new discoveries of oil, of coal, which can actually be used to develop African economies. And if we are going to forgo the development potential of those carbon fossil fuels, what do we put in place? What other alternatives are available for African economy? This is the biggest challenge that is facing the African position in the negotiations of a new climate agreement.